rates have continued to rise. As I'm making this video right now, the stock market's down 400 points and all the headlines are fear of rising interest rates. And you're going to start hearing about treasury yields being the highest they've been in 16 years. And that directly impacts mortgage-backed securities and therefore fixed rate mortgages. Right now, mortgage rates are trending 300 basis points, or 3% is an easier way to put it, over where the 10-year treasury at, and the 10-year treasury is close to 4.8%. It's 4.7 and some change. Let me show you what I mean by that. So you can see this is the U.S. Treasury market and mortgage-backed securities. You can see these prices falling off a cliff, and in the last couple of days, they've just gotten slaughtered. And as these prices go down, what that means is rates are going up. And let me show you what that means in the real world. Here is the Mortgage News Daily index that I always track and show clients just to give an idea where rates are at. So what's happened is it's showing 7.61%, but this is just going over to Rocket and just to give you, I guess, an idea, 7.875 at 2 points. So this is actually closer to reality because that's how quickly rates have risen. And one thing I will throw out there, if you have any buyers that are in a new construction closing within the next 60 days, you probably need to make sure they're contacting the whoever lender they're using, and hopefully they lock them in. You guys ought to take proactive action and talk to them about that, because otherwise you're likely to see people cancel contracts. Builders already have a way higher than normal cancellation rate, and this is going to accelerate that process. So, all right, so let's talk about the topic of this video, which is really, where are the diamonds? How to find the buyers? Because I'm closing business and we have a very robust database and we have very deep relationships with our realtor partners and other partners, and we collaborate together. But I'm going to tell you where they're at. Number one, there's 7 of them. Okay. So number one, empty nesters. You got to find empty nesters. Empty nesters are sitting on a ton of equity. They want to do a move down buy. Because we have suppressed demand on the buy side and we still have low inventory, there's enough softness there where they can still sell their house, grab that equity, and they walk in and we can create a financial plan for them on the purchase where the interest rate doesn't matter. They're literally not going to care what the interest rate could be 10. They're not going to care. They want to downsize. They'll think, hey, I'll buy it. I'll refi later. I don't care because I'm putting a huge amount down. So that's the first. Those are your sellers and buyers. Those are your best sellers right now. Now, the next one is, believe it or not, first-time home buyers. So you can couple up down payment assistance or a gift from a family or maybe 401k together with the seller concession. So the way to solve on the buy side, and really and also I offer incentives on the sell side, is the 3-1 buy down or 2-1 buy down. Better, that's what they're known. They call it in the industry. People call them, oh, we do a 2-1 buy down or 3-1 buy down. What they really are is payment subsidies funded by the seller that lowers the interest rate significantly and lowers the payment. It puts money into an escrow account that subsidizes the payment. Most lenders never explain how it works, but that is how it actually works. And that is a huge incentive. So you can help people that are worried about their payment set up a lower payment for the first few years. And in some cases, even pay a bunch of closing costs. Or maybe they can afford the payment, but they don't have a lot of cash. We can get the seller to cover all the closing, pay the points so the rate's reasonable, and then get either down payment assistance or find the small down payment somewhere else. So that's the second bucket of buyers that are there. And right now could be a huge, unprecedented opportunity for a buyer based on some softness that'll be there in the market. We're not going to lose really value, but there's going to be softness. Okay, so now the next 5. You guys have all heard the next 5, the 5 Ds. First one, diamonds. People get married, they want to buy a house. And I literally have that happening right now. Okay. The next one is diapers. People are having more babies, more kiddos coming along, and they're going to need a bigger house, either more kids or kids growing and they need more space. And it comes to a point they don't want to wait. They don't want to sit there and wait a year or 2 or 3 years for rates to come down. They're ready to move now. I got a call yesterday from somebody that said, hey, it's time. It's time. It was actually one of my top referral partners and a good friend of mine. She's has another baby on the way, and they need more space, So They're going to grab that equity, and we're going to go find a new house and build a mortgage plan that fits their needs. The next is divorce, and divorces are always sad, but they happen. In the last 30 days, I've had 3 clients that are going through divorce that needed financing. So that's another one. And so when they of course they want the best deal. We built them a great mortgage plan, but they weren't worried about the rates. They were worried about each of them needed their own place to live. And the third one, hey, I need a place to live. I'm selling the house, need a place to live. That's what I don't want to rent. Some people can't rent because of pets. Some people don't want to rent because it doesn't build any equity. There's all these reasons, but that's the third D. The fourth one is disease or medical issues. And that's not uncommon. And that sometimes dovetails a little bit into the empty nesters. There's a lot of times people get into like their mid-50s if they start having any kind of chronic illness. Could be arthritis, could be other kind of chronic ailments where, yeah, maybe their health is okay, but not, they don't want to walk up and down stairs anymore. They want to have, that big house anymore. They want a smaller, maybe a single story, and they're willing to, and they become buyers and sellers out of necessity. And then guess what? They don't care where their interest rates are at. And then the last one is death. And that's the hardest one of all, of course, is that, like I just lost my father in the last 90 days. And the house that literally we moved into, I was 12, and my brother was 9. My mom and dad have had that house since 1978. It's been that long. And, the first thing, right after the funeral, my mom said, hey, I can't keep this house. It's too much for me. It's just overwhelming for her, that size. So she's going to sell the house, and that's sad, but we have to sell the house. Now, the flip side of that is you can be the person that even though it's a sad time, to come in and be that trusted advisor that helps with the real estate to get the most out of the house, and then connect with them, a professional, to make that move to the next spot in their life. So for many, depending on where they're at, it's a downsized move, or for many, it's a move into an independent retirement living where they go to a nice retirement community and they capture that equity and they take it and invest it and make income off of it. So those are opportunities, and those opportunities are where you're going to need to go find. Now, real quick, the second part of this is, if you don't have an understanding and a team of trusted advisors around you with the right lending partner that can take those leads and get them excited and convert them into buyers and sellers, then your lead conversion is going to be extraordinarily high in this environment, and you're going to miss out on a lot of opportunities. Most lenders, what they send out to their buyers is a fees worksheet. It's a 1-page document that'll show the payment and then list all the fees. Basically, it lists all the fees, and at the very bottom summarizes, here's your payment and here's your cash to close. And they'll send them 2 or 3 options. And it's, first of all, it's visually displeasing. So back in the old days, on Sunday morning, for those of you who remember, we used to get a paper. Everyone got the Sunday paper. And what did the Sunday paper come with? 2 things. It was about that thick, but it was wrapped with the in-color comics. And then it also had all the big editorials for the week where the editors would try to sort of drive public opinion. Guess what? The public read, 95% of them read the comic strip, and only 5% ever read the editorials. And that's the way, if you're working with a lender partner that's not presenting the way I'm talking about, that's the editorial page they're doing. I'm doing the funnies with graphics and it's color, and I'm showing a financial plan, and I'm future casting what the future looks like in terms of net worth, and later on when rates drop. So they're excited. I'm showing them different ways to negotiate with the seller. If we can get a concession to either do a payment subsidy or cut their cash to close or permanently buy the rate down, and I'm amortizing cost over time. That gets people excited, and that gets people into cars. We had 3 offers go out last night in this environment where everyone else is sitting on the fence in fear. So this, what I'm telling you, works. You just have to do it. So make sure you're contacting your database, make sure you're expanding your sphere, and make sure you're spreading the good news. The message is this. This is an unprecedented opportunity to buy real estate. And then your speed is find one of those 7 needs. Are you downsizing? Is it a first-time buyer, or is it one of those 5 Ds? If you can identify that need and then say, hey, I have a solution possibly for you, you're going to get some great business and you'll do well in what's probably going to be the next 12 to 24 months of extended rates. So thanks so much. I'm here to help you. If you would like to connect, please feel comfortable reaching out to me. I'd love to chat.